Hey guys, Rip Dragoon here, bringing you a domination game on Hanoi. I once again don't remember the score, so I will post it in the title of the video. But I decided tonight I'm going to tell another story because I guess out of some of you, some of you said that you enjoyed my last story. So here we go, and this is 100% completely true story. So about I don't know, two and a half years ago or so, I was selling cookies, because cookies taste really good. And so I drove like, I guess 200 miles to go get a big box of really nice cookies, mango cookies. And so me and my friend Austin drove up there, and Austin is like, imagine a white kid from Redneckville, America with dreads. Okay, so he's not, yeah, and he had dreads. So, and they're really nasty dreads, like the kind that, have like corn sticking out of them because he just didn't keep them up. I love you, Austin, but your dreads were fucking gross. Anyway, so we drove up to Tennessee to get a big box of mango cookies. And on the way back, everything was all good. We had them in the trunk, and everything was fine, dandy. So all the way back, it's like, what, a three-hour drive there, 3-hour drive back. All the way back, we're good, perfectly fine, nothing wrong. Then all of a sudden, I get within 5 miles of my house. So what happened was when we were driving through LJ. My friend got behind us because he was going to come meet us at our house and eat some of these badass cookies. And so he was going to come and meet me at my house. And so he got in his car in LJ, and then like he got behind us on the highway, like we called him, and I told him that we had just passed his house. And so he got in his car and he started following me down to Jasper in his little MR2. And so we get down to Jasper, Georgia, and all of a sudden there's a cop at a red light. And I'm driving an '88 Dodge Diplomat, like Pimpmobile with crimson interior, just the kind of car that will get pulled over just because of the kind of car it is. And so, we're driving through Jasper, and this cop stops at a red light, like, completely catty corner to us, like, looks like he's gonna go straight. Well, we go through the light after it turns green, and all of a sudden, he just pulls up behind us. So we're like, okay, what the hell's going on? And he's just following behind me really close, and my friend Spencer's in front of me, and I'm behind him, obviously, and the cop's behind me, following me really close, like. And so, all of a sudden, he turns on his lights, and I'm like, fuck, I'm getting pulled over. Never mind the cookies in the trunk. And so we were getting pulled over, and then all of a sudden he just like speeds in front of me, cuts me off, and fucking pulls my friend over. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on, And so I just keep driving, I'm not gonna stop. That would just be silly. And so I keep driving, and all of a sudden, like, we come into this red light at the top of the hill above this gas station. And we pull through the gas station, and all of a sudden I notice this fucking car behind me with no lights on. It's the middle of the fucking night. It's like 1 in the morning. And this car is following my ass with no lights on. So all of a sudden, like, we get to the bottom of the hill, and I'm like, fuck, that's a cop. And so we get to the bottom of the hill, and all of a sudden his lights go on. So, like, I have, aside from the cookies, I have a little candy bar in my pocket. And I had this candy bar all wrapped up. So I swallow the candy bar because, it was just that damn tasty. And, I have this, I'm sitting there choking on this candy bar as we're getting pulled over. And it was just completely crazy. And so, like, I completely miss my turn after we pull off. So it looks like I'm running from the cops, just straight up running from them. And so, I missed my turn to the gas station because I'm choking on this fucking candy bar. It was not going down right. And the cops are fucking just following me, and I'm on this little dirt road behind the gas station in front of, like, this little residential, it's like this little one-way street residential area. And, I finally pull over. And I'm still choking as my car is at a stop, and this cop's walking up to my car, and I'm, like, drinking out of this gallon jug to get this candy bar down my throat. And I'm still choking, and then, like, I swear to God, it was just, like, a miracle. Right when the cop got to the car, the candy bar went down my throat. And so, you know, I'm just like, thank God. So I could talk as soon as the cop got there. And I was like, thank God. Thank God. And so, you know, the cop, like, looks at me, and then he looks at my friend Austin, you know, this little dready white kid. Like, you know, I would, if I were a cop, I would instantly look at him and be like, we're gonna have some fun with that kid. And so, the first thing that they do is they pull him out of the car, okay? And they handcuff him, and they put him in the back of the cop car. And so then they pull me out of the car, and, you know, they ask me the, you know, questions: where are you coming from, what are you doing, blah blah blah, why are you out at 1 in the morning, what's going on? And I was like, you know, I'm just going home, officer. Like, what was I doing? They never gave me any reason for pulling me over either. I can only assume that my car matched some kind of description because of the way that I was followed with no lights on, and how the other car pulled the car in front of me over and shit. And so it was just a really weird situation. But, so they pulled me out of the car, and they handcuffed him and put him in the back of one cop car, and there's 2 cops, by the way. And, fucking, they handcuff, they pull me out of the car, and they don't handcuff me, and they put me in the back of the other cop car, which I thought was fucking hilarious, because they handcuffed my fucking dread friend. So profiling. That is such a fucking profiling thing to do. But, so... So, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, while I was getting pulled over, I had the fucking presence of mind and choking on this shit to pull my trunk key off of my keyring. Now, my trunk would not open unless I either A, had the ignition key on and you press the button in my glove box, or B, if I, oh, god damn. Oh yeah, obviously with the trunk key, it's like 2 in the morning, I'm a little fucked up, but... so yeah, so I had the presence of mind to take my trunk key off. So I'm sitting in the back of this cop car, and like I pull out my cell phone and I call my friend that got pulled over before, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? They're like, dude, where the fuck are you? I'm at your house. And I'm like, dude, I'm in the back of a fucking cop car. They're like, you can't make calls from the back of a cop car. I was like, well, I'm fucking doing it, dude. And I was like, dude, just stay at my house, just wait for me, okay? I'll be there. And so, you know, the cop comes back to my car, and he's like, you know, what's in the trunk? And I'm like, just some camping equipment, which was true. There was a bunch of camping equipment and stuff in my trunk. And I was like, so, yeah, there's just a bunch of camping equipment. Like, honestly, officer, my trunk's broken. I can't even get in my trunk. It's been broken for a year. And they're like, okay, well, let me see your keys. And I was like, here you go. So they take my key ring, and they go over to my car, and they try every single key on my key ring, and nothing works. And so they finally come back over to my car, and I mean, they come back over to get me out of the car, and they're like, okay, have a good day, sir. And they put me in the car, and then they unhandcuff my friend. They put him in the back into my car, and, you know, they still haven't given me a ticket, and because they told me to sit in my car and wait for them to come back and give me the ticket. And I was like, what ticket? Because they never told me what for. And so, you know, I'm sitting there waiting, and then both the cop cars just pull off. They just leave me there, fucking just, like, what the fuck just happened? They just pull off, just leave me. And so, you know, for the next 2 months, I'm sitting there worried whether I have a ticket to pay off or not. And so the funniest part of the whole story, though, is that my trunk key fell out of my pocket in the back of the cop car and fell between the removable seats that the cops have in their car. And so, till this day, because my button later broke, about 3 weeks later, the button in my trunk broke, so I have not been able to get into the trunk of my car for about 2.5 years now. And so the cops have my trunk key. And so we got home, and we ate our 2 boxes of wonderful mango cookies, and it was pretty much just a happy ending for all. But it was just a really crazy story. I probably could have told it better, but as it was fucking crazy as fuck, and nothing I would ever want to go through again. Yeah, and might I add, those were some damn good cookies. So, yeah, I believe I went 59 and like 8 this game or something. I can't remember. But, yeah, that's my story on that, and there's plenty more stories where that came from. So I'll leave you with that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Rip Dragoon out. Let me know if you like it, and please like and leave a comment. I really could care less. Don't like it if you don't like it, but please leave a comment. That's all I ask you people. Just leave a comment. I really like to read comments. Anyway, Rip Dragoon out.